What's happening, everyone? I am just in a sherbet on my way to the kickoff for the Chelsea-Liverpool game. It's going to be fantastic. Make sure that you join us for that. But in the meantime, we have to discuss Arsenal. Arsenal have just been trounced 5-0. And do you know the most amazing and revealing thing about that result? Everyone knew it was coming. What has happened to Arsenal Football Club, the once great institution, an incredible representative for London, the marble halls, the traditions of that club, whether it's Charlie George or Thierry Henry? What has happened? Because it has now got to the stage where there is no fight, there is no tenacity, there's no heart. Mikel Arteta is totally lost, subdued, embarrassing on the touchline, and it feels like it's going to go from bad to worse. I think we could spin it. We could say that their season actually doesn't start until now. We could say that the Brentford result is isolated. It was the perfect storm for that Brentford result. It was a newly promoted team playing their first game in the top flight for 75 years in a brand new stadium on a Friday night against a club like Arsenal, who are big enough to feel like a scalp but are still vulnerable. So you can say that that was the perfect storm. You could also say that Chelsea, European champions, very difficult. Manchester City today, arguably also really tough, even harder than Chelsea perhaps. And therefore maybe their season doesn't start until now, but that is nonsense because they are lacking in so many areas that it's not even about the opposition, it's about them. It's about them on the pitch. Granit Xhaka today getting himself sent off, maybe it was harsh, maybe it wasn't, but that's kind of neither here nor there. The fact that Granit Xhaka has done that to his teammates, has committed an idiotic foul in a pointless way, is just unforgivable. The way that Mikel Arteta gave him a little pat on his way off, like you should be giving him the daggers there. He's cost his team. Arsenal were never in it, but they were certainly never in it once they went down to 10 men, and it is truly unforgivable. There are some brilliant thinkers in this world, aren't there? There are some amazing thinkers, whether you want to talk about Confucius or Edgar Allan Poe, but let me tell you who got it spot on. Her name is Nicole Scherzinger. She said, if that dude ain't acting right, you tell that dude he's got to go. And guess what? This dude on the touchline for Arsenal is not acting right. They had 19% possession today. 19%. It is unfathomable to me that Arsenal Football Club can go away. They can take 3,500 fans halfway across the country for an early kickoff, and that is what they get. It's truly unbelievable. We also have to remember that Arsenal have spent a fortune. Arsenal have dropped over £120 million on this team. They have spent so much money, and they are the only team I can think of who's managed to spend that sort of money and not improve their first team. Manchester United have clearly had a better window than them. Chelsea clearly had a better window than them. In fact, you could probably say that Arsenal spent the most money and haven't had the best. They're not in the top 10 for the best window. What is going on? How have they done that? They were trying to sell Xhaka, then he's starting this game. They were trying to make loads of different changes, and all of a sudden all these players are featuring. Players that they were trying to offload are featuring. It's embarrassing from Mikel Arteta. It screams of somebody who is totally lost, totally devoid of any ideas, and completely and utterly out of his depth. Where they go from here, I do not know. We obviously have to acknowledge City's brilliance today. They were exceptional. And do you know who I'm going to single out for a lot of praise? Obviously Ferran Torres is going to get all of the plaudits, but I'm actually going to focus on somebody other than that. I'm going to focus on Gabriel Jesus. In this new role that he has adopted, this winger's role, he's kind of reimagined himself, and he isn't the man to lead the goal charge for City. He isn't a man who has the minerals to score 20, 25 goals. He's not going to do that, but he could really contribute to their season. He could really be a significant player for them, and if he can play on the right, create the way that he did today and last week, score the odd goal, probably score between 15 and 20, that could be enough for City. You know, they didn't get their man. They didn't get Ronaldo, and they were desperate for those goals. They didn't get Kane either. But they have enough players who will score in excess of a dozen goals. They probably have, they could have, 7 or 8 players who will score more than a dozen goals. That is huge. So, I think that for City, maybe they don't need that typical striker, because the way that Gabriel Jesus has reimagined himself. Ferran Torres looks like a serious baller, and there is a lot to be positive about for City. For Arsenal, it's now. They've got some massive games coming up. Norwich, it is a 6-pointer. You don't want to talk about relegation because it feels like you're doing it for comical effect. It feels like I'm sitting in the back of a cab on my way to the kickoff, on my way to meet the boys, and it's a wind-up to discuss relegation, but they're playing Norwich. They are bottom of the league, and they've played a game more than everyone else. Everyone else has a game in hand on them, and they are languishing bottom. So that game against Norwich is a must-win. Make no mistakes about it, it is a must-win. Then Brighton, it's another must-win game. And then I think it's Tottenham. If they don't have a minimum, an absolute minimum of 6 points before they play Tottenham, I think Arteta needs to go. On the spot, I think he needs to go. I think he probably needs to go anyway. I haven't seen anything to suggest that he has what it's going to take to get that Arsenal team playing the way that they have to. But this is now crisis for Arsenal. This is the lowest that Arsenal have ever been. And if you cast your minds back, not even that long, even if we go back to, say, 2019, Arsenal and Chelsea were in the same spot. Arsenal and Chelsea played each other in Baku in a European final. Yes, Chelsea came out on top, but Arsenal were in that final. Arsenal were in that final, and Chelsea finished a point or two apart from each other in the league. So we got to the same final, both got to a final, and there was a point or two apart in the league. And somehow Chelsea have gone on from strength to strength and become European champions in that time. Arsenal have just collapsed, totally fallen apart. It is a travesty what has happened to that club, and where they go from here, I do not know. I do really want to hear your thoughts on it. I thoroughly am enjoying it. I must be totally honest, I'm completely enjoying it. So please do me the honour of letting me know your thoughts on this. Comment below. I'm going to upload this video and I'm going to be in the comments. So please let me know your thoughts. Is Nicole Scherzinger right? That's ultimately what this video comes down to. Is Nicole Scherzinger right? If the dude ain't acting right, he's got to go. And for me, Arteta needs to go. Let me know, do you agree? Full credit to City. Amazing from them. But my heart sort of goes out to the Arsenal fans in a really comical way. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I will see you all on the next video. Make sure that you tune into the kickoff. It is going to be electric today. Me versus Lawrence McKenna. Until next time, my friends, click subscribe, give it a like. See you soon.